I hate work. Like I hate criticism. I hate feedback. I hate work. Did I say that? I mean, why not? Yeah, I'll say it. I think it feels also like a statement that includes all of the things I've done so far. It feels like I was able to think and harness all of the things I've learned over the years without repeating myself. You know what I mean? Like how to include all of my favorite things about the lyrics from the first couple records, and kind of it became more expansive and more grand as it went on, and how to like unify those two things in a way that feels a lot more, it feels like me in more ingredients of me. I mean, it's always been very collaborative, the record, but I've also gone into the studio sometimes with demos that were really full. Like a lot of the world was built beforehand, and we could go somewhere completely different, but at least there was a lot of information. But this record was, all of the songs were just piano and lyrics. Sometimes the lyrics weren't finished, but just piano and vocal, you know, and I left room for everybody to build the world in like real time with me in the studio. I thought about Blake's guitar playing and Meg. I thought about the band while I was writing, like, and the piano as a placeholder for them. In a way, it's scary because everything starts from a very personal, confessional place, even if it's dramatized and turned into a dream or like a movie scene that I'm directing and I'm not in, it still feels really personal. And then to collaborate on it, you have to explain yourself or say what you hope it to be, but it ends up being more of the thing. It feels like more me in the end because you're forced to translate it. You know what I mean? You're getting feedback, and so you have to really dial in on your idea. And they're bringing new information because it sparks something, and then it ends up becoming all of ours, but also like a better translated version of what I was trying to say. And I think a lot of the record ended up being about wanting to engage more, be more connected, be less just focused on my own thoughts, you know what I mean? So it made sense to have the recording of them feel like it had that mission statement too. A lot, and that's why like I work with Blake, is because he has the ability to do that. Like I'll bring in a ballad, like a really slow, droney ballad, and I'll play it for him. He's like, I have an idea for the song, and it'll be something completely out of left field, but strangely perfect for, you know what I mean? Or it's so complete, it heightens the original thing. Like that contrast or that tension between, that's my favorite thing about music, is when I'm like surprised or haven't heard it before, or if it's just like personally surprising, like a new layer. And it makes us have conflict in the studio too. Like we fight, like he'll play something. Either one of us could have maybe an intense idea or one that doesn't seem to fit in with it, with, you know, the core thing we've been making so far, but then we always find a way that tension makes it better, I think. Sometimes well, sometimes not very well. But I think what gives me calm around it is that the songs that were the hardest to figure out, the ones that I was like, I fucking hate this song, like I was really slamming my head against the wall, they end up being my favorite ones. And you can't hear it. You can't hear it in the song. My fear was always that you're gonna be able to hear how hard it was to make, and it's not gonna have, if the song's easy, it's not gonna sound easy anymore, but it's not true. So I kind of have given up on that part of process. Like I'm obsessed with everything feeling good. You know what I mean? I want everything to be pure inspiration and happy, and I hate work. Like I hate criticism. I hate feedback. I hate work. I do. Unless it feels, I will obsessively do something for 3 days straight if I'm feeling safe and brave, and like sometimes work makes you self-conscious, or feedback will make you kind of like, oh, you take it really personally. I take it all very personally. So they'll be talking about the song, but I think they're talking about me. And I've been doing it long enough to know that's not true, but I can't help it sometimes. Be a little bratty. I know that the music is better when it starts from that, and it ends up weirdly being more universal when it is so specific. But it's a weird job. It's weird to like have people pay money to watch you like sing and dance for an hour. It does weird things to your brain a little bit. I think when I had like a longer period between records, so I was way more at home and way more internal and didn't have that like A-B of tour and record, and then going home and being quiet and thoughtful, like those used to be pretty balanced. I mean, they were intense. There's really polar opposites, but it was balanced. I mean, I've been practicing all of the music stuff and over for a long time. Like I've gotten over a lot of fears around it because I had to, and I practiced, you know, but at home I haven't really practiced a lot of that same energy. Like, so when the neighbor knocked on the door and I was like, Alan, like guys, you need to go talk to this man, you know what I mean? And then I sit down and I was like, what? But then I can play a show where I'm just like arching my back and stuff, and like, and for like hundreds of people, it felt very strange to me. And I think that's become clear, like more and more, how much I reserve a lot of my bravery and emotions and willingness and stuff for the music. And I'm kind of unwilling and less ambitious about my I don't know, like in self-helpy stuff. Like I've never read a self-help book. I guess I kind of try to write them all the time, but weirdly, it's not helped me in certain ways. Also, like songs, or like setting a scene, like creating a scene for things to live in, allows for like multiple things to be there, like fear, but also ecstasy, and like something terrifying and unsettling, but also like beautiful. It's a place for it all to be, and like making a story or casting something that is real but not like literal makes it feel more like how I feel inside, I guess. It's hard for me to figure out how to just be me, just like live my life. When, you know, I'm gonna die, people are dying, like, I don't know. Take me the long way. It's more of an older thought. Definitely when I was younger, it was something I thought about. Like I remember when I was little, like drawing pictures of people smoking, because I'm like, I'm gonna smoke. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be someone that smokes. And reading books about people, you know, junkies and hustlers and like huge, intense experiences living on the fringes of things. And I'm like, I'm gonna do that. and then I will share my experience. And I did, honestly. It's never like fully goes away. Also, especially if that's like how you process things and you try to understand them, is by making things around them. It's sweet in a way, but it also can be, I don't think I actively search out like trauma so that I can survive it. But when I was young, like that song's about when I was little, I saw on the news that these two kids were kidnapped, and it showed a picture of the van that they were kidnapped in, and I thought I saw that van in my neighborhood. So I went outside and I was kind of like, just like hoping, you know, maybe I'll be kidnapped. You know what I mean? Like wanting to be kidnapped, because I think I wanted to survive it and have everyone give me attention and have the story. But also, like, I think when you're really anxious, it's relieving when something bad actually does happen, because it matches how you feel inside. I think I wanted something that literally made sense to feel that way about, because I was just at home, you know what I mean? I had just had dinner and I was in my room, so it didn't really make sense to feel all this like darkness and fear and everything. So it's kind of was attractive. I wrote every record on antidepressants. I just took them over there before the interview because I forgot this morning. I've been sober the whole time. And some of the saddest, the songs that people consider like the saddest ones, I was very happy when I wrote them. Also, when I was doing drugs, I didn't write any music. I just did more drugs. That was the only thing. I wasn't creating anything. And when I'm depressed, it's just kind of like a void. There's no real creation in it. And you can write things that are informed by it, but I don't think it's necessary. I think about sometimes that like, I can appreciate the extreme, like joy because I've experienced something so dark, but I don't know. The older I get, maybe I didn't need to do that. Like, I don't think you need to, but if you do, and you can find some inspiration in that, that's okay too, but I don't think you have to search it out, seek it out. I mean, the older I get, the less I kind of don't care about certain things anymore that I really cared about. Like certain parts of my identity that I was really obsessed with trying to figure out. I'm just letting be confusing and messy and not trying to figure out the origin of it. But then there are things that are just kind of stay with you. The older you get, the more real they become, you know what I mean? Well, like I said, when I was growing up, a lot of the books I read were coming of age, or like the big feelings when you have love for the first time, or hidden love, or dangerous love, or like, not like, I've been with Alan for 16 years, and it can still be fucked up, but it can also be very quiet and like as beautiful, but in a different way. That is maybe harder to write about, and it's harder to make a movie about, but when you do, it's equally as powerful, because I think it's equally as beautiful. The older I get, the more I realize that things that people were afraid of about me were things that they considered to be feminine. It wasn't even that I was gay. Like Alan is a lot more traditionally masculine, so the older he gets, he can just put on like a lumberjack shirt and everybody's like, look at that, we like that, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what's my like Elvin, like maybe Tilda Swinton, like what's my like Willem Dafoe maybe, kind of like creature-y like thing. So if I am gonna have a map, I try to, maybe they're the map for that. A lot of the band that I'm going to be touring with played on every single song on the record and have been a part of the song since the beginning. And they're all really, really good. You know what I mean? They all have their own incredible projects, and I think the reason why I was so dedicated to recording with them is playing with them for the last 5 years. Like, it was different every night and felt really like present and like hyper, like something that you could only have felt in that one little snapshot of a moment. I'm really excited for a tour. I really have loved playing shows these last few years more than I ever have. And I also feel like a lot more wild and unhinged than they used to, which is really satisfying.